Hey everybody, welcome to Mammoth Interactive's YouTube channel. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video. And remember that this channel doesn't do Patreon. Instead, we sell our digital courses down below. And every single dollar that we get from the products you buy below goes into making more content. The best way to help out this channel and Mammoth Interactive is to subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. Get thousands of hours and hundreds of courses for a low price down below. We have a monthly option and a yearly option. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the video.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be taking what we learned in the last couple tutorials, and we're going to be applying it to something that I find very useful. And one of the things that I find the most useful is to just simply track my expenses here. Okay, so this is literally what I do, and I have, for example, I can, let's say, have the stream here. So I'm just going to make up some numbers here. So let's say App Store, let's say freelancing, okay, and I'm going to show you one of the best ways that I personally use Excel, and I'm going to, this is something that I really would like to share with you. So freelancing, you can say, freelancing, investing, and then maybe a couple of other items here. You can say work or something, and maybe just one more, and we'll just call it other. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code these here. Okay, and so I'm going to color code each one of these as a different color. All right, so and generally I like to pick colors that are kind of opposite each other. Not usually the red one, but maybe like purple, and then green, and then other here. You can even recycle them if you really want to. But nevertheless, we now have, well, basically something that's color coded. All right. So, and then I basically do this here, right? And then all I do is I move it all the way over to December. And again, on my computer, what I end up doing is I end up making, well, it's not as big, but total like that here. All right, and then I'm also going to bold this and raise it up 1. Make sure that all of everything works here, and if you really don't like those extra, you can abbreviate them if you really want to. Okay, and then we'll also center it, right? Very easy. And then this here, let's up it again. And I'm just going to add in some numbers here. So first things first is, in order to get the color here, I'm just going to drag this over, and then I'm going to add in, I'm just going to add in some numbers, something like that here. Work, we'll say, is 9999, and then the other is 2222. Okay, and what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to click the number here, and you can actually, if you're in a different denomination, you can do pounds, not percentage, of course. Let's go back here, and if you're in euro, etc. But let's just do United States dollars for now. And for the most part, at least for simplicity's sake, let's just drag that over here. And you might need to move these over just a bit. And actually what I was going to do is I was going to lower this a couple times. All right, and so you can see the difference here, by the way, of the bold here. And maybe 2 times might be a bit too much. But nevertheless, you want to kind of make sure it looks presentable. And I've been spending maybe a couple minutes here just trying to make things look very good here. Okay, and what we can do is we can do total, and this is actually becoming really easy. Okay, so for example, so let's say all we need to do is equal sum, and drag this down here, and there you go. Okay, and then you can simply move that over here, and you can see that some of these, they're obviously the same number here. And I'm just doing this for for purposes, just for testing purposes. But you can see that, you have your totals down there, and, you can have your totals here. And we're going to equal sum. But this time, we're just going to move it over here, like so. And you can see that the totals, what you made on each item here, and you can even do this here as well. Okay, that's pretty good, right? Obviously, this is a lot of money, but if you did make that, then good for you. Okay, so that is that's pretty much what I use Excel for. It's pretty much this exact item here, and then what I do is I actually take the totals of this here, right? And I push Control, and then I make a chart, right? So what I do is I actually in this I make a pie chart, and you can see that I would maybe put it down here, and I would say, total income, right? And I might click something like this, or you'd see which one you get where, right? So the other doesn't, you would see basically where all of your income is coming from. So that's essentially what I use it for. And of course, this is a very basic one. And what I would also do is, let's say if this was 2019 or whatever, I would put that up at the top, and bold. And I just usually put it up there just because it if you have multiple years, which I do, it ends up working out really well. Now, notice how I didn't use any kind of extra borders or anything like that. This is just basically color-coded. Everything works out well. Now, what some people like to do is, they might take this year and then they'll change like the background color to something else, like this, for instance, and they'll maybe do every other one as a different background color. Right? They might use a different background color. Personally, I don't like to do that. I just like to keep things like this, but it's up to you whether you want to do that. But this is probably the number one thing I use this for. And as you can see, it's very informative, right? It shows you, exactly how much you want. And if you really want to, right, let's actually cut this and paste it down here. And we can say total gross, total expenses, and then total net. Okay, so if you really wanted to do that, you can, and here we can say expenses, and, we'll obviously make this kind of a red color, right? And we'll copy and paste this down here, and we'll just say it's 555, right? So we know that it's that amount. And it's best that if you make it a negative number, because then it puts it in brackets like that. So there we go. And what we have to do is add that in here so that it adds. So I basically just copied and pasted everything. And the total expenses, I guess we don't really need this line. So I'll just delete that. Total net. And then we'll just make equal this plus this. And remember, we have to add it because we're adding a negative number. And of course, it's going to be the same here. So, you can see what your gross is and what your total net is, right? And then if you're going to make these both bold, etc. And then maybe, for example, this one here wouldn't be italicized, and this one, is italicized. That way, this is because that's the number that you want, right? And there you go. And that actually looks pretty good. All right. And then obviously you might want to change that chart up too. All right. So as you can see, this is probably one of the best ways I like to use Excel. And it's actually pretty simple. This tutorial wasn't very long, but at the same time, though, I think it would be incredibly useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.